Looking for one of the last chances to own a brand new luxury home in Porter Ranch? On today's new construction home tour, we're touring the stunning Fernwood floor plan by Toll Brothers at the rigid Bella Vista, the final new construction community in Porter Ranch. This modern luxury home in Los Angeles features high-end finishes, open concept living, and breathtaking views. Perfect for those seeking upscale living in the San Fernando Valley. Don't miss this exclusive tour of one of the most desirable new homes for sale in Porter Ranch. And stay tuned to the end to learn one of the most important steps when buying a new construction home. Hey guys, Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. First, special thanks to Toll Brothers for allowing us to be able to showcase this Fernwood floor plan. So we're going to get into all this inside. And this is a two-story home. Now, when they first started this community, they have 65 home sites here at the rigid Bella Vista. Majority of them were slated to be basically one-story homes. And at the beginning, 53 of the 65 were going to be one-story homes, but the demand changed, and now you're going to see about 20% of the home sites are actually going to be two-story homes, including this one behind us. So the Fernwood is one of about 6 different floor plans you can choose from, but there's only 2 that are 2 stories. So this one is 4,563 square feet of living space, can be configured, which we'll talk about inside, over 5,300 square feet of living space. You have a 3-car garage. We'll get into that. And then, as we talked about at the very beginning, stay tuned at the very end. We're going to talk about why the Blue Tape Tour is so important for you if you're buying a new construction home. All right, so where in the world are we? So today we are back in Porter Ranch at the rigid Bella Vista collection by Toll Brothers, and this community all the way at the top of Mason Avenue and then west of Mason Avenue right off Cessna Street. So this is going to be the last basically bastion of properties that are going to be built here in the master plan of Porter Ranch. There's no more space left to build. And so if you want to be buying brand new construction here in 91326 zip code, this is going to be it. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for these homes to come on the resale market. So we're going to go inside. We're going to talk about everything this home and floor plan has to offer, what it takes to be able to buy a home with Toll Brothers, among other things. And let's turn around. So again, this is the Fernwood floor plan, and the exterior has the modern farmhouse facing on the exterior of this home. So this is a 3-car garage. You're going to have your 1-car space for basically a tandem space, and then you have your 2-car space over here along with your driveway. So because this is new construction, this isn't the model home, so you're going to be able to be responsible for being able to landscape not only the front yard, but also the backyard. And so typically, usually you have about 6 months to submit your plans after you've closed escrow to the architectural committee of the Homeowners Association to get those approved. But you can see right here, look, everybody's in the same boat. And they just recently had foreclosed, and they expect to have half this community built out by the middle of the summer. So we'll have to wait and see. And let's go up to the double door entry and go inside. So now that we're inside, we've made it through the double door entry inside to this Fernwood home. 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, 3-car garage, 2 stories, 4,563 square feet. Now on the Fernwood, it can be configured as much as 5,319 square feet. That's not the case here. Again, we're at 4,563 square feet on this one. But I am going to show you today that if you needed to get to that 6-bedroom and that extra half bath, how you would be able to do that. And there is a way to do that if that's something that you need. We find most of our clients having the 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bath is more than sufficient for most people. So this home, like we talked about outside, is essentially at the end, right? You know, you're going to be able to move in relatively soon, and I mean really quick. And as we talked about outside, we're going to say for the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through why you're going to see all these blue right here, pieces of tape and why that's so important for you as a home buyer. All right, so let's talk about a few things first. So we were talking about, at the very beginning that, if you wanted to have this model, right? And if you wanted this, again, there's 6 different floor plans total in this community that right now you're looking at a starting price of $2,738,995 at the time of shooting this video. Now look, at the same time, remember, there's only 65 home sites in this community. 38 of them have been sold, and they've closed on 4 of them. So that's really interesting to know, because I expect by the middle of summer, and as do they here at Toll Brothers, that what you're going to find is it'll probably be halfway built out. All right, so let's start from the beginning, and throughout the home tour, I'm going to give you a little bit of facts about this community and what to expect, so make sure you watch the entire video. So we're heading back over to the front of the home right here. This is, again, the front doors. Now we're going to turn around, and you have this large grand foyer right here, right? And kind of see your floating glass staircase, and we're going to get into that in a second. And then as you come over here, right, you're going to have a 1-car garage. So this is a 3-car garage, but it's great because you have your 1 car over here, right? And then you still have a 2-car garage. So remember, I was telling you before that you have the possibility of being able to extend the amount of square footage in this house, and you can actually have that converted into a living space. So you do have 1 bedroom downstairs. This is the standard carpeting, the standard flooring that you receive with this home. And again, you see all the blue tape. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the video, right? And then this one does have its own bathroom attached. So this is the standard tile and flooring that comes with the home if you decide not to upgrade. And here you got the quartz counter on the vanity. So 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, that's downstairs, and you still have a half bathroom that we'll show you also. And then right off here, this 1-car garage, you're going to have a coat closet. So we'll go over to the other side over here, and this will take us to where your 2-car garage is. I'll just give you a sneak peek. You don't have to see everything inside here, but just kind of gives you an idea of what your 2-car garage is. Pretty good size. And remember, you still have that 1-car garage on the other side. And then I like how you have your cabinetry right here. And then for your friends and family that you're entertaining, you got your half bath right off that 2-car garage. And then as you mosey around over here, right, you have this large great room. And here it's all about the high ceilings, right? These are 21-foot ceilings, just absolutely enormous and soaring, which is what we find one of the biggest attractions to new construction is for a lot of our new construction clients, is those high ceilings. All right, so let's talk about what we got going on here in the kitchen. So on this kitchen, right, you have your quartz countertop, right? You have your custom cabinetry right here. Now, what's really great about this is one of the most important upgrades. I think you get your money back when it comes time to resale. And I find this for a lot of the other homes that we sell up here in Porter Ranch, is especially with Toll Brothers, is being able to have the cabinetry go all the way to the top of the ceiling, and that's about a $15,000 to $17,000 upgrade, more or less. So you have your stainless steel appliances right here. This is Wolf, right? You got your oven right here, double oven right there. Plus, you got your 6-burner gas cooktop right there on top. And then this is an upgrade, and one that I highly recommend, the pot filler, right? Who doesn't like the pot filler? And then you have another Wolf oven over here, along with your built-in microwave and your Sub-Zero refrigerator and freezer right there. So a huge island counter right there with your white Kohler sink basin. And then, of course, you have a trash compactor, as well as your dishwasher. So it's interesting because for a while there, the trash compactor kind of went out of style, and I'm starting to see it make a comeback on a lot of new construction homes. So just an interesting observation. Not everybody uses it, but it's something that's nice to be able to have. And then of course you got plenty of room here as we glide across to sit several people at your this island counter. So whether you be prepping food, whether you be enjoying a drink, enjoying a meal, right? Because not everybody eats all their meals at the formal dining table. Here is your walk-in pantry. So one nice thing that's really something that I do like here is that you don't have to worry about customizing anything here. This one right here comes to you like this. This is standard on your walk-in pantry. So plenty of room, very large space here in your kitchen. So as you can see, like this is where your dining table set would go right here in this area. And then further down, you have your living room. So most people are going to put their big screen TV on this wall. So if you go to any of the model homes, and not just Toll Brothers, whoever the builder might be, typically you will see some type of custom design facing on the exterior of the fireplace right here, going all the way up to the ceiling. I've seen any type of sunstone stone, tile, quartz, marble, granite, you name it. But very rarely does it actually come that way. So this is why it's really good for you to see this video, because here, right, it's totally different, where it just comes to you with paint and drywall, right? And so if you decide you want to put something else on it, that's up to you and your contractor. And then, obviously the model home here is a single-story home, but, on top they have that exposed beam ceiling in the model home, right? And that's in the living room. And that also is a designer feature that can actually be duplicated by Toll Brothers. So if you wanted to duplicate it, you would have to bring your contractor in. So just something to know that, this is how your home is going to look, right? Pretty much it's just going to be drywall and paint, and then however you want to customize it once you move in, well, that's up to you. All right, so in addition to the living room, right, and the dining room downstairs, you have this flex space, right? Very popular flex space. A lot of people use it as an office. I've seen people convert it into a movie theater downstairs. Maybe you want a gym, a yoga room. If you have maybe kids, maybe it's a playroom, right? An area to keep an eye on. Look, you got a door so you can lock them in almost. Tempting, right? And look, so I think if you have this type of room, there's a ton of different ways you're going to be able to configure it to your liking. So just something to keep in mind there, that, this is how it comes. It's not something that could be converted into a bedroom. I'll show you upstairs how you can convert it to a 6-bedroom when we get to that point. Hey guys, Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. Hope you're enjoying this home tour so far. All right, so this has been a lot of fun bringing you this brand new construction home by Toll Brothers here at the Ridge at Bella Vista in Porter Ranch, California. All right, so if it comes to buying new construction, it's a lot different than buying resale, just a lot of different components, and the process is a lot different also, especially if you're buying it basically as a dirt lot. So one of the things that we like to do with our new construction clients, especially if they haven't gone into the sales office yet, that always recommend that you bring us to the sales office and let us help you with the process. But in order for you to be prepared, we like to have a Zoom call usually with our clients, and even more so if they live out of the area, and we're going to be helping you, guide you, and holding your hand through the entire process. It's really important that I feel, in my experience, that it really helps our clients kind of understand the process, because once you start sitting down with the builder, whether it be on Zoom or if you live out of the area, or if you live here and you come in, you end up being overwhelmed by a lot of terminology and how things are set up and the process, which is different from resale. So we always recommend having a Zoom call with us, and we kind of walk you basically from A to Z on how to kind of expect the process to go when it comes to new construction, whether it be dealing with the design center, what structural upgrades you should be choosing, electrical, maybe is an example of that, right? Or maybe it's something on the design center like we talked about. So it's just, there's a whole bunch of different things that, you know, we can help you out with. And just basically what we've seen, because we have a relationship with all the builders and our clients have bought with so many different builders across here in Southern California, we can kind of really help you understand what are the best things that you should be spending your money on just for starters. All right, so check out the QR code, which we've had up here for a little bit now, and definitely reach out to us if you have any questions, and let's keep the home tour going. So let's head upstairs right now. So this is the floating glass staircase. Depending on the floor plan here and the design of the home, I would say you're looking at about between an $85,000 to about $100,000 upgrade, more or less. It'll be a little more in the Idlewild just because it's a more spectacular floating staircase. Now, I do want to say it's interesting because I always ask the sales staff, regardless of the builder, when it comes to this floating glass staircase, I'd say most of the time it's about 50-50 whether people want to have this staircase. And they said, you know, when it comes to the Fernwood model 2-story home, that I'd say it's about 50-50. When I asked them about the Idlewild, which is the larger floor plan of the 2-story, remember, there's only 2 different floor plans when it comes to the 2 stories, the rest are 1 story. They said about 80% usually go for the floating staircase just because it's so spectacular in a spectacular house. And you know, the reason sometimes people, besides cost, don't necessarily opt for that floating staircase, you know, if you have pets, you have small kids, and then if it's not, you know, you're going to have storage underneath here, it's just going to look like a regular staircase. So kind of wanted to point that out to you guys because I think that's something that comes up a lot when it comes to, well, is that something I'm going to get my money back on when it comes time for resale? And I think a lot of times it really has to do with the floor plan and the model that you actually have. And we haven't even made it all the way up to the top here. And look at those stackable doors right there across from your living room. And then you also have those right there in your kitchen as well. And all the windows. And now today's a cloudy day, but this is on the western facing ridge right here. And you can see all the greenery because we're here in the spring. Remember when I said that there are 65 home sites here in this master plan community? So about 19 of them are 2 stories. And you know, it's really interesting as we kind of take a look at some of the other bedrooms upstairs. And what I mean by really interesting is that when we first came here, they told us 53 of the 65 home sites were going to be 1 story, right? Because there was a huge need for that. And very similar to when I have a listing that's a single story, everybody always comes to me and they want a 2-story, right? And vice versa. Or if I have a listing that has a swimming pool, I always get people that tell me they don't want a swimming pool. Well, the world always seems to work that way. So as a result of that, when they were kind of still building things out, they had so much demand for 2-story homes that they decided to reconfigure how many homes were going to be single story. And now they have about 20% that are actually going to be 2-story homes. So that's a big change from when they originally started building out this community. So again, if you're looking for a home in this community the rest of the way, you know, now it's about 50-50 when it comes to whether you can get a single story, which they will have some available, or if you're going to be able to get a 2-story home. And I would say that's probably about the demographic right now. I'd say about 50% want the single story and 50% want the 2-story. So it kind of sounds just about right. Entering the laundry room, you can see your sink, you have the cabinetry, tile flooring inside here, and then we'll exit right back here and continue on upstairs. So this is the large loft located upstairs. So if you needed that 6-bedroom, and this is what would help increase your square footage down the line if you needed to have more than the traditional 4,563 square feet, in this floor plan, you do have the option of making this into a 6-bedroom. I will say for resale purposes, most people don't really utilize that. Most people, 5 bedrooms is more than sufficient, especially when you consider the fact that you're already looking at about 4,500 square feet. And so I think most people would rather have this extra space to be able to entertain or be able to use it as another family room area. Maybe you want to have an office in addition to the flex space. So it just gives you a lot of possibilities depending on what your needs might be. All right, so let's continue on down over here. So let's talk about the Homeowners Association. So HOA dues will be approximately $750 a month, and that will cover the maintenance and the operation of the common areas with the gated community here, including the entry monuments, the gated entry. There's going to be a large recreation area, common area landscaping, parkway landscaping of the streets, and all of the management of the community as a whole. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to property taxes, that's probably one of the biggest questions that we do actually receive. And when it comes time to property taxes, you're looking at a current base tax rate approximately at 1.25%. So at 1.25%, that's very close to what things are here in LA County. And then this is a big difference as opposed to going up to northern LA County in places like Santa Clarita, Valencia, Castaic, of the sort where typically you have a lot of mellow roofs. And then what that means is that typically your property tax rate is probably around 1.8, 1.9 I've even seen in some places. So that's a huge difference. So something to keep in mind there. All right, ready to enter now into the primary suite. So first thing you're going to see is this beautiful primary bathroom. You have your dual vanities and you have your soaking tub right here. And then right across the way from that, you have your standard tile on your shower. So look at the shower enclosure going all the way to the top, to the bottom right there. And then you have 2 shower heads. And there's a lot of customization that you can do with the Toll Brothers. And then coming back over here, we're going to lead you into the walk-in closet. So if you remember the walk-in closet on the model home, right? They had a lot of customization in that, and you can do that, but I think most people are probably going to opt for something like that. What they did with that on their model home, it is beautiful, and you typically see that on the walk-in closets on the Toll Brothers home, but most people end up wanting to spend their money in other areas when it comes to design upgrades, and so most people usually don't spend their money, but they are beautiful, and I really do like how they were able to customize their actual walk-in closet. All right, so for the bedroom itself, again, you have the stackable doors right here. And then you can kind of see you have this overlook deck right there along the ridge. And again, this is the western facing side. So this gives you a really good vantage point above right here of what your view is going to be like. Every morning you wake up right here and enjoying these beautiful hillside and mountain and canyon views from your primary bedroom. This is a pretty good space right here. Plenty of room for a sitting area and pretty much any type of bed you can imagine, and being able to hang a large TV. So let me know what you think of the floor plan itself. So let's talk about a few other things. So let's talk about solar. So for a 2-story home, you're looking at about $20,000 for the solar system. No battery wall here. So if you wanted to have a Tesla battery wall, that would be something that you would have to do on your own. And then as we go down here, wanted to point something else out to you, and that is that the home that we're looking at today is pretty much finished being constructed. But all the homes that will be having this floor plan, this one in the Idlewild, you have to remember that they're going to be on the east facing ridge. And so the reason I bring that up is because, to be honest with you, they're not even certified lots yet. right? So the dirt hasn't even been uncovered yet. So on the one hand, it's really good because you have the opportunity to literally customize everything, because a lot of the homes, you know, as soon as they are available for sale these days, because you're talking about a plan unit development that doesn't have 500 homes, it only has 65. So as a result of that, right, that the builder, when it comes to these smaller plan unit developments, what we're finding is as soon as they're available for sale, they work with the design team and they immediately start planning what kind of structural design and other upgrades that you might actually see take place. So again, if you wanted to build something right here in this community, they're talking about being about 12 months plus out, right, to build it from scratch. Now, the good news again is you'll be able to customize everything to your liking. And I would say on average, you know, most people probably spend about 10 to 15%, 10% on the minimum side. I'd say 15% probably more on the average side. And that doesn't include, as we're going to go into the backyard shortly, of what it would take to be able to landscape this, because these are larger lots, right? These aren't smaller lots. These are lots that tend to be a lot larger than you would find anything in Westcliff or Hillcrest, just to name a few. So we've made it into the backyard, right? And we're over the overlook deck right here. And so again, like we talked about before, new construction as opposed to the model home, you get to be able to customize all of the space. Now, these are much larger lots than you're accustomed to when it comes to new construction. You know, maybe you see 7 to 10,000 in Westcliff. You know, here the lot sizes went up to as high as 20,000 square feet. Obviously, you're going to be paying a premium if you want to have this Western Ridge facing view, as well as some of the larger lots. So, you know, nothing's free, of course. And then here you have the fireplace right here, the outdoor fireplace. That is an upgrade as well. But again, this whole space, and we'll walk to the edge here, and you can kind of really see how big this lot really is, and just gives you a much better idea of actual space you'll be able to utilize. So your lot line will go all the way down to this wrought iron fence, and you see the beautiful views right here on this Western Ridge that we're along this Western Ridge that we're actually standing upon right now. Now, full disclosure though, everything that's going to be built for the 2-story homes that's going to be brand new moving forward, it's going to be on the opposite side of the development, on the eastern side. You'll get the eastern, the morning sun coming up. But this is a beautiful view, and just kind of wanted to showcase it to you guys and wanted you to check it all out. Let me know in the comments below. And then of course, kind of give you a different perspective, right? And you can see all of the windows, the stackable doors, right, of this house from the exterior looking inwards. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, Scott, like, how do I even make a reservation when it comes to new construction homes? Now, a lot of the builders have different ways of how you can actually make a reservation. But let's talk about Toll Brothers, because that's where we're at today. So for Toll Brothers, they require a $1,000 deposit, right? And that's after you fill out the home buyer questionnaire. And that allows you to kind of be put into the queue. Now, before you have a contract, you're required to, even if you have your own lender, you still have to qualify with Toll Brothers lender to make sure you're approved for the loan amount that you're looking for. I will say, with their incentives that they have, almost always makes more sense to use their lender than yours, and just because of all the incentives that they're able to provide, including interest rates, closing costs, etc. And that changes from week to week. So if you want to know more information about the incentives, definitely reach out to me. All right, so at the beginning of the video, and you probably saw throughout the video, where you saw these pieces of blue tape along the walls, right? And so if you haven't bought new construction before, it's one of the most important parts of the whole process at the end, right? Everyone's really excited. And then you have an opportunity to do a final walkthrough, and that final walkthrough was where you know all the imperfections in the home, whether it be on the flooring, on the walls, appliances, right? And the blue tape is where the builder knows to come back and basically fix anything. I'd say majority of the time it's paint, dents in the drywall, things like of that nature. But, you know, sometimes they're more serious things. And, you know, this is where it's really good to have an extra set of eyes, especially from a real estate agent that could kind of help walk you through that and kind of show you the process of what you need to really be looking out for. And this is very serious because this is something that where you can really kind of talk to and work with the builder, because before you move in, you don't want to have to be dealing with, you know, dents in the walls or paint imperfections or damage to the flooring. You want to make sure that you have all of that fixed before you actually move into the house. So that's something to keep in mind, especially, you know, when you're having a new construction home tour. There's the framing tour, verify where everything's going to go, you know, needs to go when it comes to electrical, but also at the end, your final walkthrough tour. And, you know, let me tell you that, you know, a lot of times, especially up here in Porter Ranch, you know, it's not just the interior, it's the exterior too, where a lot of times where it's hard to envision something, and maybe something as simple like as a retaining wall, and maybe it's not in the right place and you thought it was going to go somewhere else. Well, this is where having someone like myself to kind of help you kind of be you need a mediator kind of with the builder to kind of help guide you through and kind of make sure all the work gets done properly. So just something to keep in mind if you're buying new construction. So if you are interested in buying new construction, we're going to be here. We'd love to help you here or anywhere else here in Southern California. Toll Brothers has some great properties anywhere from Montebello to Lake Forest, up in Valencia. But this is the last development in the master plan community of Porter Ranch. So this part of newer Porter Ranch, this master plan community, this is it. Once these sold, there's nothing left. And the only thing that's left would be Hidden Oaks here, basically in the San Fernando Valley. So if you want more information about this property, what you need to do to be able to get into buying a property with Toll Brothers, or you want information about buying new construction home, definitely reach out to us. You see the QR code there. Love to be a resource of information. Hold your hand through the entire process. Again, my name's Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.